top global financial leaders met earlier today at the plenary session of the annual meetings. Annual meetings chairman and Cabo Verde's Finance Minister Olavo Avelino Garcia Correa joined World Bank Group President Ajay Banga and IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva. At the high-level session, the leaders discussed global economic stability, debt sustainability, and the need for stronger international cooperation to drive inclusive and resilient growth. Their discussions underscored renewed calls for transparency in debt restructuring and greater support for vulnerable economies.
Together, we're stronger. Together, we will make the impossible possible. We can make a peaceful planet, livable, and a world free from poverty. It is our duty. My greetings to the President of the World Bank, Ajay Banga, and to the Managing Director of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva. The partnership between those two institutions has been of strategic importance, including for my country, Cabo Verde. We are an upper middle income country, enjoying macroeconomic stability and inclusive growth. It is our aim to become a high-income country. We want to become a developed country. In 1975, when we became independent, it looked impossible. Cabo Verde now has become a country of ambition. We managed to qualify for the World Cup for the very first time, the second smallest country in the world to achieve this feat. Thank you. We demonstrated once again that we may be small, but we can also be ambitious and think big. Yes, anything is possible for a continent as well. Africa has enough resources to build a glorious future. We have energy, water, arable land. We have young people, women, and a diverse climates and ecosystems. It will all come together through good governance and leadership. We will work every day to create employment with dignified jobs and opportunities for everyone while building resilience. In August, a devastating tropical storm swept through the northern islands of Cabo Verde, making it very difficult for the communities there. And I want to express our deepest gratitude to the international community, to the World Bank and the IMF for the strong support. That tragedy highlighted the need for climate governance and the importance of advisory support and broad technical assistance from the fund and the bank to enable us to create stronger buffers to face those emergencies. This underscores the need to invest in resilience so we can be prepared for the next shock and to proactively plan for unforeseen events. For Cabo Verde, as well as for many other nations, economic diversification is need to open growth and to improve resilience against shocks and to create jobs. This is the best way to lift people out of poverty. The road to diversification and economic integration require substantial investment. The World Bank Group, the IMF are working with us, bringing us not only financing, but also knowledge, innovation, and cooperation. Diversification beyond tourism and agriculture. So we have a greener agriculture that is bluer, that is smarter, a digital economy that's more inclusive. It's not just a growth strategy. It is vital for us to survive. The private sector should be at the center of this transformation. And I wish to commend the World Bank Group for its efforts to unleash the potential of the private equity to create jobs.
The recent events in Syria and Gaza give us reason to hope that peace is possible wherever conflict exists. The Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, Ukraine, Yemen, and beyond are also those that we have to keep an eye on. As we hope for peace, you have to also prepare for it. And in that pursuit, we have convened expert groups to plan for the reconstruction in Gaza and in Ukraine. We're drawing on regional specialists from both the public and private sectors. The Gaza group started a year ago. Their work is now being actively shared with the partners in the region who are working for the next steps there. Reconstruction is an essential part of our mandate, a service we stand ready to deliver wherever and whenever it's needed and to the best of our ability. But at the same time, as an institution of development, we have got to keep our eye on the idea of conflict prevention. Alongside rebuilding what has been lost, we have to focus on creating the conditions for opportunity, the conditions for stability, because that is what motivates our actions and our decisions today. We are living through one of the most terrifically huge demographic shifts in human history. By 2050, more than 85% of the world's population will live in countries that we call developing today. In just the next 10 to 15 years, 1.2 billion young people will enter the workforce. The estimates we have are they'll be vying for about 400 billion jobs. That's a large gap. The numbers are the numbers. It's the magnitude that we're talking about. So let me express that urgency in a different way. 4 young people will step into the global workforce every second over the next decade. In the time it takes to finish my delivering these remarks, tens of thousands will cross that threshold, full of ambition, full of the desire for opportunity. The pace of population growth is the most staggering in Africa, which will be home to 1 in 4 people by 2050. Between now and then, estimates suggest Zambia will add 700,000 people every year. Mozambique's population will double, while Nigeria will swell by about 130 million people, firmly establishing itself as one of the most populous nations in the world. These young people, their energy, their ideas, they will define the next century. With the right investments, focused not on need, but on opportunity, we can unlock a very powerful engine of global growth for all of us. On the other hand, without purposeful effort, bare optimism risks turning into despair, fueling instability, unrest, and mass migration, with implications for every region and every single economy. And that is why, like we did in the prior meetings, the pivot to jobs. Jobs must be the focus, the center of any development, economic or national security strategy. Generating growth, which enables an environment for jobs, that has to be center.
Since we last met here in this big hall on October 25, 2024, uncertainty has shot up, up, up. Yet, global sentiment is holding. In other words, we have a mix of anxiety and resilience. Today, I would like to reflect on both. First, the anxiety. From technology to geopolitics to climate to trade, change is unsettling. The world trading system that delivered so much for so many is being shaken to its core for many reasons, including because the playing field wasn't truly level and the people left behind received too little help in retooling for new and better jobs. We see assertive non-tariff measures ranging from import licensing, and Ajay talked about that, to export controls and port fees, with subsidy counts capturing only part of the picture. We see non-market industrial policies and exchange rate distortions. And of course, we have US tariff rates shooting up this year. But here is a key fact. 188 of our 191 member countries have so far avoided tit-for-tat tariff actions. Having noted that trade barriers hurt both growth and productivity, having urged policymakers to preserve trade as an engine of growth, I welcome this restraint by most countries, although surely there will be more changes to come. At this point, despite all the turbulence, we estimated that 72% of world trade is still being conducted on most favored nation terms. Countries take their lowest bilateral tariff rate and offer it to all of their trading partners. Simple, not complex. Trade is not a zero-sum game. Provided firms can maintain diversified and robust supply chains, provided governments can retain their strategic autonomy and assist those who lose out from trade, and provided, this is very important, external balances are not unsustainably large. Imports and exports enhance welfare. No wonder the current uncertainty around trade policies and the risk of losing trade as an engine of growth are creating anxiety. So let me rotate to resilience. Despite the sweeping policy shifts we have seen this year and defining many expert predictions, the global economy has held reasonably well thus far.